Hey everyone, it's Beth Filer, and today I want to show you how so simple it is to make your own sugared fruit. We're going to make a beautiful evergreen wreath with sugar fruit in it, and we're also going to do a topiary to match. So I'm going to see if a few more people can jump in. If not, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I will be talking about some of the elements that we're going to be needing. I will supply you with a supply list for part 1 of this tutorial, which is doing the sugared fruit. Excuse me. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn my camera down so you guys can see what I am doing. Okay. So let me just explain some of the things that you guys are going to be needing. The first thing you're going to need is 1 jar of glittered diamond. It is a little bit bigger of a crystal. You can find this at Hobby Lobby. It's $2.99. You just need one little jar of this. And again, I will be giving you guys a supply list, but this is the glittered diamond. The second item you're going to need is 1 jar of the extra fine glitter, and it's called Disco. We're going to be doing our sugared fruit in a little bit in both, some of the thicker and some of the extra fine glitter. The next thing you're going to need is 1 jar of Mod Podge, and I'm using the gloss, but you can use the matte if that's all you have on hand. And then you're also going to need the Mod Podge Super High Shine. This is an clear acrylic sealant. This is what we're going to spray on our fruit after everything is dried. So that will seal in all of the sugar onto the fruit so it doesn't get knocked around and beat up. The next thing you're going to need is a bag of the following. You're going to need a bag of lemons, a bag of oranges, a bag of pears, a bag of apples, and if you want to, and you can find them, you can also get a bag of strawberries. We're also going to use some grapes. What I did was I just got 1 of each color. This is the light green, the dark purple, and then the burgundy color. And all you need is 1 of each. And then I went ahead and bought 1 stem of the berries. Now we're going to try and crystal some of these just around the tops, but we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of experimenting with this. Now, all of the fruit you can find at Hobby Lobby, but right now, if you go to Michael's, because they also carry the same fruit, there is a coupon for 50% off of all sale and non-sale items. So you could probably pick up your bags of fruit there a lot cheaper than you can at Hobby Lobby, because Hobby Lobby fruit never goes on sale. Now, this is a big bag. And this 1 bag will do a wreath and 2 topiaries, which is what we're going to be using. And this bag is $5.99. Again, I will be supplying the stock numbers for the Hobby Lobby ones that I bought, but Michael's carries the bags of fruit as well. Okay, so I've already started on a few, and I just want you to see how adorable these are. Hang on just a second. And they're really fun to make. They're not very time consuming at all. But here are the ones that I've already done. So here are my my lemons and my oranges. Now what I'm doing is I'm doing some in the larger crystal, which is the glitter diamond. And then I'm doing some in the extra fine glitter, which is called Disco. And right now I know they look white, but once the Mod Podge dries underneath, the color of the fruit is going to come through a lot more. So I got my oranges, my lemons, here are my pears, and I also have the apples. And just let me show you what I did for the strawberries. Now on the strawberries, I just did like they're dipped in it. So as you can see, I didn't put a stick through them. I just grabbed them by the stem, painted the Mod Podge on just below the greenery, and then just did the crystal. And then I just laid them on a cookie sheet. This is not a very messy project, but you do want to have a controlled environment. And what I mean by that is you don't want to be working under a vent because this stuff will fly. And I have 2 bowls on a cookie sheet. This one is my finer, and then this one is my more thicker. Okay, and the other thing I bought were some small wooden dowels. Now you can buy these at Hobby Lobby, but they also have them at Walmart. This is just the wooden dowels. There were 30 in a package. They're 12 inches long for $2.99. Again, right now all of their wood items are on sale, so I got this for half price. And what I'm doing is I'm just taking these with my cutters and I'm cutting them into thirds. And I'm also going to keep these after the fact. So these are not going to get thrown away. I'm just going to hang on to these afterwards. So basically, here's what we're going to do. You just take your fruit and just put your dowel in there. So that's what you're going to be holding. You're going to get your paintbrush. And you're just going to start painting that Mod Podge all over the fruit. Once you get your Mod Podge on, you want to really give it a nice even coat. So if you see some places that are a little heavier in other places, just try and even it out and make sure you cover the whole surface. So once I get it on, then I go from forward to back, just kind of evening it out, taking off the excess. You don't need a lot on here. I have found that the lemon and the orange does have that lemony, you know, that texture peeling. So it takes a little more Mod Podge to go on. But once you get it on, it's just a matter of evening it out. Then what I'm doing is I've got just a plastic spoon and I'm just sprinkling this on. Get that out of there. And then I'm going back and I'm just tapping it. And I'm just looking at it. If I see any bald spots, I go back and I just add a little bit more on. And that's it. That is how simple this is. And then what I'm doing is I've got my styrofoam and I'm just poking it into the styrofoam and going to let it dry. So I'm going to let this set and dry overnight. I want to make sure the Mod Podge is dried very well. And then tomorrow I'm going to go outside with my sealant and I'm going to spray each piece of fruit very lightly. I'm not going to do a heavy coat, but very lightly with the sealant. And you know, you don't have to use the high shine, but I really want this to be very pretty and very shiny because all of this fruit is going to go into an evergreen wreath. And that's going to be part 2 of this tutorial. So you can see I'm just taking my dowel and just putting it in towards the bottom of the fruit. Now the apples and the pears, the surface is a lot smoother. So I'm avoiding putting any of the Mod Podge on the stem. So I'm just going right down as close to the inside part of the stem as possible. And putting my Mod Podge in. And of course I'm doing the underneath side. So I'm doing the whole piece of fruit. because this, like I said, this will be hot glued in to our evergreen. Now, I was pricing some of these out. They have some already made wreaths at Hobby Lobby with the fruit already on, and they're really expensive, guys. And I was also pricing out the fruit already, you know, like in the picks, and even with the 50% off, they're very, very expensive. So I know this is a little time consuming, but I just think it's a fun thing to do. You know, you can sit and I wouldn't sit and watch TV doing this, but you could certainly sit and just listen to some Christmas music and just do all of these. So this one here is the finer, and I'm just going to sprinkle this all over. And then just tap it off. And look how pretty that is. Now I know it looks white, but once that Mod Podge dries, the color of the fruit is going to show through. So I'm just going to place that on my styrofoam. So let's do a smaller one. Now remember, the bags of fruit, they have different sizes. So here's the pear. There's a small one and the large one. So again, I'm just taking my stick or my dowel, and then I'm going to take my Mod Podge. And again, you can use the gloss or the matte. I'm using the gloss because, like I said, I want this to be really pretty and shiny. And I'm going to do all of the fruit that you see on this table, all of it. And then we're going to do this smaller one in the finer glitter. And there we go. Isn't that is just so pretty. So you guys kind of have the idea. Let me do a strawberry for you and show you how I did a strawberry. So I just grabbed a hold of the strawberry by the stem and I just pulled back all this greenery, and I'm just holding it like that. And I'm just taking my Mod Podge and I'm just brushing it. And I'm just going right under where the leaf is going to stop. Just like that, okay? And let's do this one in the bigger glitter. And there we go. So, isn't that pretty? And then I'm just laying these over on the cookie sheet, the same cookie sheet that I'm using. Let me just show you my cookie sheet. This is my cookie sheet, and I'm just laying these over on the cookie sheet. So I will eventually have all of this foam filled up with all my fruit. Now let's try and do the grapes. Okay, that should be fun. I haven't done this one yet. So I'm just going to take off the tag first of all. So let's see. I think with the grapes, I'm going to probably do those in the smaller sugar. And I'm not going to do every one, but I'm just going to do some at random. As you can see, I'm just going in and I'm starting from the bottom. I don't know if starting from the bottom is going to be better than the top, but that's what we're going to do. And I'm just lightly coating each one. And before the Mod Podge dries, let me go ahead and start sprinkling this on the bottoms. Isn't that pretty? So I'm just going to continue right up the stem. I'm just going to grab a hold of the stem and I'm just going to, this is probably going to be the one that's going to be the messiest. But we're just going to give it our best shot. We're not going to completely coat each grape individually. I'm just kind of putting a layer on the surface. And then, I don't know if it'd be best to just roll them. Probably not. Let's just, let me just do what I've been doing. We'll just sprinkle it on. And then I'm just going to swing it around and do the other side. But look how pretty that is. And again, there might be a few grapes that I miss, and that's okay. That's okay. Just you want to get as many of the grapes that you can see as possible. But if you miss a few, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. And I'm trying to keep the Mod Podge as light as possible, but I'm finding that to be a little hard. But that's okay, because it's going to dry clear. And if I see a grape that's got a little too much Mod Podge, I'll just go back with my brush and rake over it and try and even it up. And again, I'm just going to add, just lay the grapes into the bowl. And I'm just going to, there. So we got this one done. Isn't that pretty? Hi, Shelly. Oh, you were getting ready to call me. Hey, Deb. So there we go. So we got our grapes done. So I'm just going to sit them right here and let them dry. And I still have the green ones to do and these. And again, I'm only doing one of each color because we're going to have a lot of fruits. We're going to have a lot of different beautiful elements on here. We're going to, I mean, you can even go as far as adding a little bit to the leaves. Let's just let me just do a little bit on the leaves right along the edge. Just see what that looks like. So I know that looks kind of wonky, but all of this is going to dry. Okay, so all that Mod Podge is going to dry, and all you're going to see on that leaf are the crystals. So I'll do this leaf here in just a second. So that is pretty much it. So on the berries, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip one from this sprig, and I'm going to do the exact same thing I did with the berries. I mean with the grapes. I'm just going to go right along this edge, right along the top. And I think if you take your berries and break them down like this, it will be easier for you to control. And you're going to break them down anyway because we're going to be placing these into our evergreen wreath in different areas. So, you know, it'd be easier just to go ahead and break it down now. So we got the Mod Podge on. And again, I'm going to use the finer crystal. And I'm just going to sprinkle this on. And there we go. And again, once that Mod Podge dries, that white is going to go away. I see one spot I missed. And all you're going to see is that real pretty crystal on the edges of the berries. So I need to get another cookie sheet out and lay this on. So now let's talk about what we're going to do with all of our fruit once you get everything done. So let me just turn this around so you guys can see me. Hi, everyone. Okay. So as you can see, that's a really easy process to do, guys. I mean, it doesn't take that long, but just look how pretty that is. It's going to be so pretty. And remember, tomorrow I'm going to let this set overnight. Then tomorrow I'm going to go outside. It's very important. Do this outside. Hopefully it won't be real windy. And we're just going to, I'm just going to do a light coat of the Mod Podge Super High Gloss Clear Acrylic Sealer. And I will be doing up a supply sheet for part 1, and which is this tutorial right now. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing with all this fruit once we get it all done. So the first thing we're going to do for part 2 is we're going to do an evergreen wreath with berries, all the fruit, some gold magnolia leaves. It's going to be very, very, it's just going to be beautiful. I don't know how else to describe it. But here's what you need to look for. Right now, the pre-made, and when I mean pre-made, they already have some decorations on them. Evergreen wreaths are like ridiculously low price right now. You can get them at Michael's, Hobby Lobby. You can get them at Joann's has got them on sale. Find you a really pretty 18 or larger evergreen wreath that already has some decorations on it. Some berries, maybe some pine cones or whatever. Okay, that's going to be your starting point. From there, we're going to be adding some more pine cones, which I'm going to show you how we're going to do those. We're going to be adding all the fruit and some other natural elements. And so that's going to be our Christmas fruit evergreen wreath. I'm also in the process of trying to find a very natural looking ribbon. I don't really want to go with a pattern ribbon because I don't want to take away from the fruit. So I'm looking for either a dark velvet green trimmed in gold. I do have a red velvet trimmed in gold that I bought at Hobby Lobby. We might go with that. I'm really looking for something that's kind of understated, but yet you know it's there, if you know what I mean. So I've already looked at Hobby Lobby. They did not have any green velvet. So I still have 3 more shops that I'm going to look at. I know what I have. I know what I want. I know I have it in my mind. And it's something that I want to be able to find locally for you guys so you don't have to order it. If you have something already in stock, in your own stock, certainly use that. You don't have to follow what I'm going to do. But I just want to go with something more natural, a little more rich color. That's why I want to go with a velvet. Because this is something that can be hung over your mantle or definitely in your dining room. Because it's going to be that, it's definitely going to have that wow factor. The next thing we're going to do with the rest of our fruit is you'll need to get, and again, I will put this in a supply list. This will be a second project. You need to find 2 cones, Christmas cones, and I got these today at Hobby Lobby. These are paper mache. They were $5.99 each. Let's see how tall are these. These are 18 inches tall. Right now, all their paper mache is on sale, 50% off. So, you know, for $2 and something, you can get you 18-inch paper mache. And what we're going to do with these is we're going to paint these a dark, dark hunter green. And then we're going to, I found some very pretty evergreen not swag, I'm sorry, garland. And we're going to wrap this in the evergreen. And it's already got berries on it. And we're going to wrap this all the way around. From there, we're going to take some of the smaller fruit, like this size, and we're going to start hot gluing those on with a little bit of ribbon, some smaller magnolia gold leaves. And so we're going to be doing a set of these to match the wreath. So if you if you hang that wreath over your mantle, you can have these on either side of your mantle on your fireplace. Or if you're going to hang this in your dining room, you can have this flanking on your buffet or even on your dining room table. So we're going to show you how to do that. We're going to have this closed so you won't be able to see the bottom. And you can also elevate these on a pretty candlestick. So there's so many things we're going to do with this, but that will be our third project using all of the fruit. So the only thing we won't be attaching to this fruit will be the grapes. We won't be attaching the grapes, but we will be attaching all the fruits, the evergreens, the berries, the smaller magnolia leaves. So that's going to be a really pretty thing on these. So that is our remainder of our projects for November. The fruit. The sugar-coated fruit is part 1. Part 2 will be constructing the evergreen wreath with all of the sugared fruit. And then our final tutorial will be doing the matching topiaries. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy that. And then we have our guest designer coming in the house that last week of November. So we got a lot of fun stuff. But for now, go on and get your fruit. Don't forget, you can buy them 50% off with a coupon from Michael's. Michael's has the exact same bags of fruit, just like this. And if you want to pick up some of the larger apples, you can do maybe 1 apple, 1 orange, and maybe one of each. Just to kind of fill in some of the gaps on your wreath. So you'll have maybe like 1 of each of these fruits, but the larger version. Okay, and then we'll have the smaller ones as fill-ins. I didn't think about that till just now, but you can certainly do that. But anyway, I will be putting together a supply list for part 1 of this project. And so be on the lookout for that. I'll upload that into our group. So for now, if anyone has any questions, don't forget, I'm always here for you guys. Just let me know. But you can see how easy it was to do that. And let me just do one more just so you guys, I mean, it's not that difficult, but let me just do one more for you. Let's do an orange. Let's do a big orange. We're going to do a big orange. So again, we got the orange. I'm just putting the stick down at the bottom. There's the top where the greenery is. And we're just going to take our Mod Podge and start painting it. Now remember, the lemon and the orange has that typical lemon and orange peel texture, kind of a rough peel texture. So make sure you get your Mod Podge down into those grooves really well. And then you can go back and just wipe off all of that extra Mod Podge, because you don't need a lot. Just make sure you get a really good coating. Now on this larger one, I'm going to do the large crystals. So let me just switch that out. And I'm just spooning that on. And then take it and tap it off. And there you go. And then just sit it over on your styrofoam and let it dry. And that's it, guys. Okay, well, thank you so much. Again, I'm going to sit here and finish doing all of my fruit, and I'll be ready to spray them tomorrow with the sealant. And then, see, tomorrow is Sunday, so probably Monday morning, we will start constructing our wreath, okay? So until then, I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And again, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to drop me a PM. All right? See you guys later. Bye.